inspiration from Karl Marx and Engels, from David Harvey and Manuel Castells. So what I'm going to talk about today, you might not believe, you might not agree with me, because I'm not very radical like those. I'm moderate radical, not radical. So I'm going to read from this paper. I was born before 2000, so there's no virus here. 2000, my topic is managing traffic congestion in Maseru. It is often said that cities are engines and generators of growth. But it is not often said that cities are also great magnets of people, either from the countryside or from smaller towns. Cities are also generators and engines of traffic congestion. Because of many opportunities that people believe are available in the cities, they tend to leave their places of origin and migrate to the cities, to live, to work, to play, and do all sorts of legal and illegal things that we may think of. Most of the times, they do not afford urban accommodation in city centers. They live outside the city. In fact, city life is expensive for the urban poor. They live in the outskirts of cities. They commute daily to their activities in the city. Other city frequents, the rich, also stay out of the cities. You may think that because the poor live outside the cities, then the rich will stay inside the cities. But they also don't want to live inside the cities. They also commute. They afford to, on their own cars, of course. Then enter the cheap imported Japanese cars. Your Honda Fizz, Mazda Demios, Honda Saloons, Toyota Fizz, you name them all. They are cheap and they are affordable. Whether you are in the lower middle class or you're the peasant, newly qualified civil servants afford them. Lawyers make them their offices. School dropouts who have just cashed up on their M afford them. All these fellows now have them. And they have got to travel on the same roads with all the other vehicles. Then picture them in the morning, in the afternoon. Picture them at Lakeside, at Lakhawane, near Pioneer Road, along Pioneer Road, along the Kingsway, along Mushasha Road. They are jamming our roads. They bring them to a standstill. Why? Is it because our roads are too narrow or too potholed? No, there are just too many of them. And the municipality seems to be blind to this. Or is it really blind? How do we expect it to tackle this challenge? By restricting access to the city, or by charging toll fees into the city? By encouraging the use of public transport, or simply by charging parking fees? The following measures are my proposals on how we can manage traffic congestion. I believe in the planning system that tells people on how to do things, not to listen to how people want to do things. I said I read David Harvey, I read Karl Marx, I read Frederick Engels. So solution one, or recommendation one, plan a more compact mixed-use city. The back of managing traffic congestion in Maseru starts and ends with its town planners. Town planners are seers. They are the special prophets who nurture and grow. They are special prophets of doom to those who take their message for granted. They are also special pastoralists who nurture and grow the special faith of those who eat their counsel. The city's planning department is the watchman who blows her trumpet. The watchman who blows her trumpet, not his trumpet, in order to warn the city of the coming days. The department should work hard to make the city more compact in order to encourage the use of public transport, and also in order to use less infrastructure services to serve many people. The city should also be more mixed use nature to do away with the sleeping culture that exists now. Life in the city starts in the morning when people come to work and ends in the evening when people go back home. It should not be like this. people should be able to live in the city, work in the city, play in the city, and do everything else that is legal in the city. It should be planned in such a way as to discourage people from commuting into the city, as currently is the case. Some major streets in the city should be pedestrianized in order to discourage the use of private cars. Recommendation number 2, erect toll plazas. I think the Road Directorate, together with the municipality, should restrict access into the city by erecting toll plazas at every entry point into the city. Their construction should be financed by the Ministry of Public Works and Transport capital budget to avoid a situation where we, the motorists, are charged exorbitant fees to pay off the debt for their construction. Every motorist who is willing to enter the city should pay a certain fixed amount for each time they enter the city. This would serve as a deterrent for motorists to enter the city with their private cars unless they feel it is strictly necessary to do so. Public transport vehicles such as minibus taxis, buses, and 4+1s should be exempted from paying the toll fees. These fees should be collected using the regular employees of the Road Directorate or Road Fund and be kept in the fund for maintaining the roads infrastructure across the city. Recommendation number 3, park and ride facilities. The city's municipality, in collaboration with the Roads Directorate, should build park and ride facilities at the outskirts of the city in order to encourage motorists to leave their vehicles there and use public transport. It should be the municipality's responsibility to negotiate and enter into binding agreements with the public transport operators for their services to be readily available, effective, efficient, and reliable at the designated points. The agreements with operators should also include operating conditions such that public transport vehicles need less excessive noise and no abusive language by their drivers. The municipality should provide a safe environment for motorists to be willing to leave their cars at the facilities without fear of being robbed or destroyed. Recommendation number 4, increase parking fees. The paltry parking fees that the municipality is currently charging should be dealt away with. They are not discouraging the use of private vehicles in the city. It might not have been the aim of the municipality to discourage the use of private vehicles, but it should now be, given the high volumes of cars entering the city and parking on its base for long periods of time each day. The municipality should increase these fees so that motorists will feel it best to leave their vehicles at home rather than pay exorbitant prices for parking. If, for example, one was required to pay 50 malut just for parking his vehicle for 30 minutes instead of maybe 3 rand 50 cents, 3 malut 50 cents, people should have second thoughts when it came to unnecessarily using their private cars in the city. The municipality can use a stick and carrot approach to arrest the situation, provide safe parking bays, while also charging exorbitant fees to discourage their use. The city's purse would also benefit in the meantime. Number 5, build designated bicycle lanes. To encourage the use of bicycles and discourage the use of private vehicles into the city, the municipality should build designated bicycle lanes in the city. It should also mount public sensitization campaigns to encourage people to use bicycles than cars for healthy living, easing the city's traffic congestion, and for reducing the emission of greenhouse gases. If need be, the city can also buy its own fleet of bicycles and lease them to its residents for certain periods of time. The city officials, from the mayor to the parking marshal, can lead by example, riding on their bicycles to go to work or to run their household errands in town. I don't know how to ride a bicycle. Build a more capable city police department. The city's Department of Safety and Security should be well-trained and well-resourced police department to enforce all of the above-mentioned proposals. Without the capable police department, all these measures do not worth the paper they are written on. The police should be able to be at toll plazas at all times, at park and ride facilities, at the parking bays, patrolling the streets, and also be able to apprehend the offenders when need arises. They should also be able to monitor and to follow up on those who have been ticketed to make sure that they pay within a specified period. The last recommendation, decentralize key services to other event centers. Maybe all of the above mentioned measures would not even be necessary had the national government decentralized key services and infrastructure to other event centers in the country. maybe Maseru will not even be experiencing this severe kind of traffic congestion, which, by the way, is a ticking time bomb. National government should, therefore, decentralize key services to other urban centers across the country to ease Maseru of the pressure that is experiencing at the moment. It could also induce the investors and industrialists to relocate their major investments and industrial activities in other parts of the country. Rural development strategies should also be explored, which would prevent massive rural-urban migration of people in search of economic and social opportunities in urban centers. All of the above-mentioned solutions may or may not work. It depends on the political will of the authorities, the competence of our town planners, and the buy-in of our cities' communities for them to work. You might have seen, or you might have been aware, that I did not propose the expansion of current highways or building of new ones to ease our roads of the current pressure. That was a deliberate act on my part. Lewis Mumford, as Mama Makata has quoted him, once said that solving traffic congestion by building more freeways is like curing obesity by enlarging or extending one's waist belt. It will not work. Thank you for your attention.
Thank you.